It's Tuesday, August 15th. Welcome to the Sleepers Podcast. Carter Elliott running a little late this morning. I feel like we should address that off the top. What's your energy like? Are you owning this? What happened?
Yeah, I'm just a little lethargic today. I'm not going to lie to you. I stayed up a little bit later than I probably should have last night. It's raining outside. It's very gloomy. I'm a little lethargic, I think is the word I would say, but I'm here. I'm good to go. I'll be ready.
Let me see if I can pick you up, my friend, because today's episode is brought to you by Big C's Dump Truck Emporium. Big C dump trucks can handle load after load and exhibit great stamina. Get your hands on a Big C dump truck today. That is from Mike Meyer. Do we think that's Michael Meyer?
That's just insane. That's absolutely insane.
You know why you were late, though, or why you were staying up late last night? You and I were both staying up late last night. It's because we figured out something for sleepers. Should we break some news?
Please. One thing I never want you to ask me is that if we should break news. Please.
Are we trillying? Is this trillying, or are we just... Trilly has an expose today, by the way. I don't know if you've seen that. Yeah.
Expose.
Trilly did a sit-down interview for the first time ever. I'm sick it didn't happen on this very show. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. The news of the day. We are going to start a Discord. In fact, we have started a Discord. I'll put the link in this description. This is how it's going to work. I want to preface this off the top by saying you do have to pay for this. If you don't join, no hard feelings. Not much will change for you. Like if you're enjoying the way you consume Sleepers content right now, none of that is going to go behind a paywall. You can still get everything that we're doing, these daily episodes, as they are. What you will miss out on if you don't join the paid Discord includes your ability for us to answer your questions on episodes. That's the first thing. We're going to do all of our Q&A at the beginning of every single episode, every single day on the show, based on what we get in the paid Discord. And people that support us, we support you by answering your questions. We're also going to create some additional content that will only be available to paid members, Cart. That includes ability to do some live stuff. We will do some watch-alongs during the season, maybe some big games where you can watch a game with us as the Sleepers. We will do some live videos at some point where, people have asked, hey, could we do an episode live? That will happen, but it will not be made available to everybody. It will just be made available to paid Sleepers members. Our newsletters, the gambling newsletters that we did weekly during college football last season are back, but those are only available to our Discord members. And finally, this is maybe most important to me, Cart. You can just talk with us every single day. We're going to operate this as if it's like a message board, as if it's a forum. I'm sure Cart and I will be making fun of each other constantly. Jokes will be flying. And you are now a part of that, Sleepers Nation, if you'd like to be. I chose the paid membership, just a flat $9.99 fee. And I think taxes brought out to like $13 a month. So that's $9.99 a month. There's also a second tier, which is called, you get the exact same thing as members, but you just like us a little more, which is $19.99. So if anyone wants to pay us $20 instead of $10 a month, you can. Your thoughts, Cart? Is this a good move? Is this a horrible move? Is this going to crumble Sleepers media as we know it?
There's nothing that could crumble us as we know it. So let me just get that option out of the way. And yeah, I do think it's a good option. I think for me, the part that I like about it is that it was a suggestion by people who listen to us. Like, I think many of people who tune into Sleepers on a daily basis want to support us, have looked for ways to support us, have come up with certain ideas, whether it be merch, which we've talked about, we're not really a fan of, but, kind of going over with G and setting it up. Like, I think Discord is the best thing for us. There's many different avenues that he just spoke about. And I'm kind of excited. Like, that's why I was up so late last night, is because I was just messing around on Discord and trying to figure out, the ins and outs and all the intricacies of Discord. So I'm excited about it. And, hopefully, we don't end up with just myself subscribing to my own Sleepers server, but I feel like it might be a couple more.
Why are you talking like you just committed somewhere, by the way? Like, it was the best option for me, ultimately.
Can you just let me rock, man? Please.
Okay. Were you recruited by other paid content platforms that I don't know about?
That's none of your business.
You're right. That's none of my business. And I didn't say this. We will also do some giveaways though. Like we'll just send you cool stuff occasionally if you're a paid member, whether that's shirts, whether that's like Sleepers Yeti mugs, like this one that I'm holding on to. We'll do some giveaways. We'll do some fun stuff. We'll make sure you feel loved if you show us the love by becoming a paid Sleepers member. So I'll put the link in every episode description. You're probably going to hear us promote this over the next week and a half because we really want to try to drive people signing up for this before college football season. After that, I promise we'll be less annoying about it. But spread the word too. If you want to join, you have other people that listen to our show or you talk with about Sleepers content, please help spread the word. Help us grow this thing. We're very excited about it. Cart, because we are slightly behind today, we have 25 comments to get to. We're going to have to be very quick on these comments, but we are a blue collar podcast. We don't run from the grind. We're not going to not answer comments just because we're up against the time a little bit. Just because we have to beat the buzzer doesn't mean we can't beat the buzzer. 25 comments today, starting with Ulamog. Once again, clipping every single segment. Incredible, Ulamog. You are in the early running for Sleepers MVP. Coy is underneath his comment with an instructional tutorial to me on how to do that. Unfortunately for Coy, no offense, Coy, I'm not doing that because I don't know how to find the info on how to do that. I'm not doing that because it already takes me way too much time to put these episodes up, and anything that would add 1 second more is not worth it to me when I have someone as lovely as Ulamog that would help us with that. So thank you, Ulamog. Maddie MK says, being an SIU fan, Damask was a great pickup for Illinois. Look forward to seeing him against a higher level of play. He was huge for SIU. Cart, does being huge for SIU mean that he's huge for Illinois, though?
No.
That was
but it should give Illinois fans something to be excited about because there are some programs that take players that literally weren't impactful at their last school and pray that they're impactful at their new school.
Marcus Damask is either the third best player or the 13th best player on Illinois. We still don't know, and that goes for every player on Illinois. Trevor Sally says, unapologetic Purdue fan here. Sorry, I'm like choking on something right now. Pause. Unapologetic Purdue fan here. As brutal as the end of last year was, and combined with losing to Indiana twice, I had a great time watching Purdue basketball last year. Lots of wins, lots of great basketball, keeping expectations low this year to help my mental health. I'm dying.
Let me pick you up. Trev, don't know you personally, man. That's soft, okay? Tempering expectations with the team that Purdue has and the stuff that you guys have gone through these past couple of years, that's I'm not allowing that. You don't temper expectations when you have a team as talented as this. You need to expect greatness. Expect Painter to be great.
We have a massive amount of adversity early in the show, Cart. I just want to say that. Wayne Kerr, it's probably the full name he wants me to say, says he wants to hear what Carter's album of the year is so far and why is it Ganger? I got Greg pegged for Luke Combs or something. Also, Sincere Harris is the boogeyman on the defensive end of the court. His energy is special. I could not name a Luke Combs song, just for the record.
You got a fast car. I won't drive it.
Yeah, okay. So the best Luke Combs song is a Tracy Chapman song that he stole. Great. I'm out on Luke Combs. No
okay, problem. Stop. Luke Combs is the best country singer out.
Last country singer you told me was the best country singer out was an unobjectifiable racist.
Yeah, well, country, you need a little pinch. Just a little pinch.
What's the album of the year, Cart?
Album of the year is Gunna's album so far. It's early in the year. Ganger is a great album. Shout out to these. I'm glad that he's getting his shine and getting the recognition he deserves. But so far this year, Sergio Gunna, the snitch, as some call him, has the best album of the year by far.
Clayton Lee, love Carter sniping my Illini better with Curbelo question. Also love the honest take on all teams. I believe, Greg, you're spot on 80% of the time. That might be a little generous. I'm not going to lie, but I appreciate it. He says, example, Illini have 12, 20-minute guys. Unfortunately, college basketball isn't simply interchangeable pieces. This could lead to more exodus next year via the portal. Your thoughts?
I mean, yeah, that's literally the formula and why it's so hard to coach in today's era is because kids don't accept smaller roles when they can easily go to another place and have a bigger role. It's tough.
The thing about me, Card, is I love a good routine. My routine currently consists of wake up around 7, feed my daughter, get a run in, shower, make an iced coffee, get on a Zoom call with you. Love that routine. It's firing on all cylinders. Illinois' routine right now consists of a lot of excitement, a good season, a bad end to the season, blaming everyone, repeat the process. So we'll see if that happens, Clayton. I hope it doesn't, because I would love to see Illinois get over the hump. Fam says, at Cart, can't tell you how game-changing new fitting clubs is. Was using my friend's set this past weekend opposed to my 12-year-old clubs and gained 10 to 15 yards of clubs since they fit well and are more modern. Shaved 8 strokes off what I usually shoot to, and life's better when you feel good coming off the course. P.S. Bluff's reaction to Milwaukee was all time. Can't script it. LMAO. I'm going to choose to focus in on the Bluffs portion of this comment because we got a text from Riley Bluffs Davis this morning that said ... My first thought when I saw the peppermint schnapps and Diet Mountain Dew comment was that sounds fire.
That's disgusting.
He's not beating the allegations. The problem with your golf is you need to shave more than 8 strokes off right now.
Okay, you need to relax.
Is that not true? I'm trying to hold you accountable.
No, I'm just saying when I get these fitted clubs, you should be somewhat scared of me.
You shot a 135 and picked up your ball on 16 of 18 holes last time I played with you.
Yeah, that was all mental.
I know. I tried to tell you it was all mental. You said it's not mental.
Well, that's the last thing you want to hear when you're in a goddamn meltdown is that it's mental.
I'm just trying to be honest with you, man. I'm not a finger pointing guy, but I'm pointing some.
Yes, you are.
Clayton's back in here says, fun question. If this year's Illini are in this year's SEC, what place do they finish in the conference? I don't know.
Clayton, I want to know why you want to know that.
That's a fun question.
Why the SEC?
Behind Kentucky. Better than Alabama, I think, maybe?
No, I'm taking Alabama over them.
I'm not a big Grant Nelson guy.
What about Tennessee?
Below Tennessee.
Below Tennessee. Probably like better than like the LSUs.
Better than Auburn, I think. Probably Auburn range, like 4 or 5 in the SEC, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Steve Dunn.
Ole Miss is going to be pretty good, I think.
Should we just keep going down the list? Vanderbilt might be kind of nasty. Steve Dunn says, do you think Bill Self will still let Hunter do round ball? I think we all know there is no way Izzo would allow it, and I don't think Self would be thrilled either. I'm sure the podcast was part of his portal recruitments. Okay, you must be okay with it, but it's actually a reason I'm shying off the Jayhawks for a deep run. I don't think anything round ball associated should actually like move you off of believing in Kansas, for the record. I will say, I don't think there's been a new round ball episode since he committed to Kansas, unless I'm missing something. So I think it might just kind of go away.
Get the meme up, Greg. Get the Grim Reaper meme up.
I mean, we're just throwing this out there. Like some quote unquote competitors seem to kind of stop creating content while Sleepers Media keeps saying, hey, let's give you content every day instead of once a week. Seems like some people have gone from like 3 days a week to breaking up with their partner to now you don't get your I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just observing. That's all I'm saying. Wyatt Robinson says, Greg, being an avid golfer, I was curious if you were aware of Coach Small and Illini Golf's 13 of the last 14 Big Ten championships, 14 straight NCAA tournaments. Wyatt, I was not aware of that. I had no idea. I don't really follow too many Big Ten sports outside of basketball and football, to be honest with you. But I'm very impressed by a 14 straight Big Ten championship streak. My question to you, Wyatt, would be how many second weekends has the Illini golf team made? I would be very impressed if you could give me that number. Gavin Booher says, I think the best case scenario for MSU would be if Tucker doesn't reclassify and just comes next year when Walker and most likely Akins are gone. I think the possible negatives would be more likely than the upsides. You agree with that?
Yeah, I do. I'm working. Are you going to be okay?
I'm like choking. I don't know what's going on.
Can we get somebody to get you down to get a back pat?
Yeah, I need a burp right now. I need something. By the way, I think Tucker kind of like, didn't the news come out that he's not reclassifying right after we put the reclassify video out?
Yeah, he literally transferred high schools.
Great timing. Lovely. Dat Boy from Illinois says, even with 12 guys that can play, I'm not too concerned with Illinois' minutes allocation. 5 are seniors, so no transfer risk there. Danger has already transferred once. Don't see him leaving. Goody, Sincere, Ty, and the freshmen have to realize they will take the reins after the season. If that's not enough for them to stick it out, then they can go get theirs in the mid-major. There's always a few injuries every season, too. Yeah, I think the question is just like, do Goody, Sincere, Ty, and the freshmen all support? Like, if one of them gets the reins, are the other 6 happy? That would be my question. Because I think there's 2 guys who expect the reins in that group.
Yeah, and there's not enough reins.
Yeah. And if one guy gets the reins, the other guy doesn't have the reins. That's usually how the reins work. So we'll see how it goes for Illinois. Fam says PPS expect Arthur Phils to have a breakout week in Cincy. I've seen this guy's name. Like, he's a tennis player. I've seen his name a bunch of times. I've never watched him play. I know nothing about him, fam. So I'm going to have to take note. He's on my radar this week. Shadak Taylor says the media was so wrong. LOL, laughing face. What's that about?
Is that just about the Flory recruitment?
It's either the media was wrong about Flory, or it's we're the media and we were so wrong about Bryson Tucker. Which I'm going to choose to believe it's that, because crack on my shoulder.
Yeah, true. But I've said this many a times before. You're not wrong unless you admit that you were wrong. Like, that comment saying we were wrong, like, that doesn't mean we were wrong.
I don't think you have to admit that you're wrong to be wrong.
That's how I go about I haven't been wrong since 2016. I said that the other day in a tweet, because I haven't admitted to actually being wrong. Whether I was wrong or not, I haven't been wrong since 2016.
I would love to flesh this out more, but you showed up 12 minutes late for this episode, so we don't have time to go down a rabbit hole. Ulamog says, what's the latest intel on the real U of M? Word on the street is that Cameron Christie is going to be better than the beloved NBA draft pick of an elder brother, top 10 team in the Big Ten. Are you bummed Cam Christie's not coming to East Lansing?
No.
Do you want nothing to do with the Christie family?
No, I mean, Cam Christie could be successful at Minnesota, but let's keep it a buck. Like, Cormac was way better than Cam. So
I like what I've seen from Cam for the right. When Joe Jackson, our Purdue film guy, who has been like doing all the incoming class stuff, he did okay. Don't do that. He did like an actual video on Cam Christie and was like, this guy's underrated.
Yeah, I know.
So what's that face for?
Oh, I didn't realize I was making a face. I'm sorry. Sometimes my face just gets out of control.
And why? What are your thoughts? We're talking about Cam Christie. Oh, right, man. I think Cam Christie's a 4-year guy, and I think in year 4 he's really good. Ulamog, that's my thoughts. I took D Rose's SAT. Assuming all these scenarios played out, which program would be considered the best in the Big Ten right now? Illinois if Bill Self never left for KU. Indiana if Kelvin Sampson wasn't fired. Michigan if Beeline never left. MSU with Izzo. Fun question, but I think obvious answer. What's your answer, Cart?
Indiana with Sampson.
It's got to be a joke, right? Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand.
I'm dead ass serious.
Why?
Because Sampson is one of the best coaches in college basketball.
I think that's crazy. I mean, he is. He's great, but my answer is MSU with Izzo pretty clearly.
You give Sampson in Bloomington, like, come on, man.
The church assembly hall.
That'd be special.
I think it's MSU with Izzo. I think it's
Sampson.
You do love Sampson. It's MSU with Izzo for me, and it's not really close. I don't think Bill Self at Illinois would be as successful as he is at Kansas, and that's not shots at Illinois. But I'd go MSU with Izzo. I don't think anybody's topping what he's done over the last 2 decades. Neil Stuckey says, which Illinois transfer is most likely to have a Brandon Podziemski likely breakout season at their new school? Sky Clark, Jaden Epps, RJ Melendez, or Brandon Lieb?
Brandon, I don't think any of them, but I would lean. I want to lean Sky because I'm a big Sky guy, but like, I just don't know about that situation down in Louisville. It seems like a shit show. So I guess out of those guys, I go Jaden Epps, but like, there's no way Jaden Epps plays his way into a first round top 20 draft pick. I don't think any of those guys do.
Yeah, I think in order to have the pods like season, it has to be a guy we just haven't seen much of. And unfortunately for Sky, Epps, and RJ, I think we've seen a lot of them. I do think both Sky and Epps can have very good individual seasons. I would bet on Epps having the best individual season there. I think he could be the best player on Georgetown this year. RJ Melendez, I just don't think is that good. No offense to RJ Melendez. I would take him on Michigan immediately if I could, but I think he's like a role player type, and Lieb is the one I know the least about. So that maps to what AirPods did last season. Craig C. MSU said the Giants were reportedly having to use a silent count at Ford Field during the first preseason game. That's all. Pray for the Seahawks at that home opener.
Yeah, we're here. We already said a couple episodes. We're not the same old Lions.
You and I's texts about the Lions were enjoyable to me. You only watched the first quarter and then you had to go. And our texts were like, if we draft another Iowa player, I swear to God, I'm jumping off a bridge. And then Jack Campbell like picked it up a little bit. Laporta's still got to show me something though. But I'm excited at the prospects of moving our Lions texts to each other to Discord, where other potential Lions fans could see what it's like to experience our overreaction.
That's going to be special during Discord, especially during even looking forward to like basketball season. Because we always talk about on these episodes. I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent though, G. But we always reference like mine and yours conversations like offline, like during these games or during these situations. And, I'll toot my own horn here. There's some good ass combos in there that we could use some other voices in as well. And then you have Discord.
I already moved the Discord app to my homepage, by the way, which is a big deal.
I got the Discord app on my Mac. I have the Discord app on my phone, and I had notifications on.
Look at us. Look at us Discording. Michael Kremen says, Cart talking about how expensive it is to put air in his tires. We call that inflation. That's solid.
That is a good one. I'm mad I didn't call it. God, I should have thought of that.
That might be the comment of the day, Michael. Appreciate you. Turney J35 says Carter going live from the cement brick bunker is very blue collar.
Hey, that's my finished basement, damn it.
It was pretty blue collar, though. I noticed that after the episode. Like, I didn't even notice it during the episode. Otherwise, I would have made a joke about it. But yeah, I assume that's because wife was asleep.
Wife was asleep, had to relocate.
So blue collar of us. Malik Perry says, so Bryson Tucker or Koa Pete caused Tucker, Bryson Tucker or Koa Pete, cause Tucker reminds me of Christie, but Pete can be a two-way monster. Which one would you take?
Based off that comment, give me Pete.
I don't know them well enough. I trust Card on this, so I guess I think the answer is Bryson Tucker, though. I think you're just making a joke about Koa Pete. So,
are you asking like who I think is gonna be like the better pro?
Yeah, who would you take? Who's the better player?
Oh, Koa.
Koa. Okay. Yeah, I got to tap into Koa.
And that's not a slight to Tucker. I think Koa is like a top, like he like regardless of class type player, like he's a top 10 guy. And Tucker is.
I got to tap into Koa. I don't know too much about him. I've only seen a couple clips. Aiden Tree says, obviously you're basketball guys, but what's your proportional fandom compared to other sports? For example, 25% football, 25% basketball, et cetera, et cetera. It's a fun question. I've never thought about my fandoms like that.
Yeah, I really don't know how to divide it up. I say 50%.
Can we do leagues, or is it just like, does basketball mean NBA and college?
I was gonna divide like NBA and college, I'd say.
I think those should be separated.
All right. College, probably college basketball, 50%. Oh God, that's tough. There's not enough percentage in here. I don't even know if I can get 50. Can you go first?
I think I'll go college 60%. That is just so much of my life and my true passion. I would say NBA 10%. Like when it's NBA time, I'll get in on NBA. But outside of NBA, I don't care about NBA regular season like that. 10% golf, 10% tennis, 10% football. 60, 10, 10, 10, 10.
Okay. I think I go 50 still for basketball, college basketball. Probably go 10 for NBA as well. I mean, just for the same reasons you said. I go 20 on football. And then let's see, at least 20. Then I go 10 soccer, 10 golf.
I think you might have gone 110% there, which I appreciate. You go 50, 20, 10, 10, 10?
I did. So last two, 5%. Sorry.
You might have been. I don't know. We're not math majors here. I think I shortchanged my football, by the way. Football being the same as tennis, golf seems low to me, but I'm out of percent. So what can I do? Some charlatan says, pretty sure Sky is talking Coleman and Sincere. The why seems obvious. No comment. Craig Bowers. Hey, good to see Craig Bowers in here. Says, hate to rain on your 7-foot Purdue parade, but the next big man recruit is a stretch 5, 6'11" Raleigh Burgess.
I mean, Craig, I love you. I love you like I love my 7-iron. But like you've also come in my DMs with like Will Berg propaganda, like he's going to be the next Porzingis. So I got to see it.
I just can't get over the fact that their next center's first name is Raleigh. or Raleigh. I don't.
Raleigh.
Why is everything so rah with Purdue? It's Lafayette. Lafayette. I don't know. Why? Just give me like Josh Burgess. Give me that. Make it easier on me, man. I'm not so great at this. It's early. Shout out Craig Bowers, though. Brags in the stands. Great Purdue show. And we already talked about Joe. A lot of Purdue love from us today. We're going to talk about Purdue more in the episode, too. That's all the comments for today. Thanks to the comment section. By the way, keep commenting. Even if you don't join the Discord, keep commenting. We're still going to look at them. We may from time to time pull something out. But if you want your comments to continue being read on the episodes, 2 weeks from now, that's when we'll flip this on. We'll give an official date, probably the week of college football. But you have 2 weeks to get to the Discord before we kind of shut off responding to every comment. You have some time, but getting the Discord link is in the description if you want to join. 3 topics today, Carl. Let's start with Louisville's news. Trentyn Flowers, top 30 prospect, 2023 recruit, is going to play basketball in Australia. He is not going to play at Louisville. This is a 6'8" wing, talented kid, dreams of the NBA. And he will play his next competitive basketball next season for the Adelaide 36ers instead of a team that went 4-28 last year. Seemed like national people were really struck by this news. A lot of jokes being made at Kenny Payne's expense and just a lot of like shock in general to this. What is your reaction? Is this good or bad for Louisville? And is it good or bad for Trentyn Flowers?
Okay, so I think it's 2 separate answers. I think it's good for Trentyn Flowers. I do think it's good. To be honest, I think he's a talented kid. Don't get me wrong. I don't know if I necessarily see like bona fide like NBA player. Like when LaMelo went over to Australia, we were like, okay, yeah, like he's gonna be in the NBA 1 year, he's out. Trentyn Flowers, we got to see. He has the tools for sure. He has the game. I feel like he's got to put some things together. But I don't blame him for going this step because honestly, he's probably going to get better as a player there than playing at Louisville this season. And that team's going to struggle, to be honest with you. So I truly think that he'll maybe actually develop better in the situation he's going to be in. Now, flip this to Louisville side. This is catastrophic is the word I would use. Classes start next week, and you just lost your best prospect. Like that was – Trentyn Flowers was probably going to be the most talented. Actually, no. Trentyn Flowers is going to be the most talented. Not saying best. He's going to be the most talented player on your basketball team. And you lost them a week before classes start after all this other stuff is going on around the program. And you won 5 games last season and people aren't on board with what you're going to do this season. And then you lose your most talented player. And then there's also rumors coming out that Tyler Johnson, the kid who decommitted from Memphis, isn't even enrolled in school yet. And things are just spiraling out of control. And the voice of reason is Sky Clark tweeting and saying that everything's going to be okay. And I love Sky, but things are catastrophic right now for the Cardinals. That's the word I would use. It's bad.
4 games, not 5 games last year.
Sorry.
They won 4 games.
Good Lord.
Sky Clark's comments, #CardNation. Y'all take it easy on the young fella. He did what he felt like was best for him. The timing was bad, and I'm a living testament to that. And for that, I'm sorry, no matter the circumstances. He's a special talent and felt this was best, but we good over here in Crum, trust me. I love Sky Clark, man. He's just so good. He's so good at winning the social media offseason. He's so good at winning it every year. He's just got to translate that to the court. And my God, is he going to have an opportunity cart? I mean, the ball is going to be in Skydavius Clark's hands every single play.
Skydavius.
Yeah, Sky, you had to give that to him. I don't think this moves the needle a ton. I mean, it's obviously devastating for Louisville, but like, wasn't Louisville going to be pretty awful anyway? So like, yeah. It's not like they're losing. Oh, they're not going to compete in the ACC now, or, oh, they're going to make the NCAA. Like, no, nothing changes. This team was going to be really bad. Dudes were going to put up individual numbers. Just Trentyn Flowers chose not to play with a 4-win team. And the fact that this came out after his failed dunk attempt 2 days ago is hilarious. Also, Trentyn Flowers is claiming he's a point guard. He's a 6'8" wing.
Yeah.
You can relate to that, right? I mean, not the part where you're 6'8", but you can relate to being a tall man who thinks he's a point guard.
You know who Trentyn Flowers' career is going to remind me of right now? And I do think he has the tools to do some things. But right now, like I don't see a vision or an end of the tunnel path where he doesn't end up like a Quincy Miller.
Okay.
I
I
used
can
to
see
love
that.
Quincy Miller, like Deep One Sports, Balls Life, all those videos. I loved everything about his game. He was a 6'10" wing who felt like he was more of a guard. Never really panned out at Baylor, but the talent was always there. Never really panned out in the NBA, but the talent was always there. For some reason, when I look at Trentyn Flowers, I see that path. But obviously, at the end of the day, the talent is there.
Yeah, I could see that. I still, from what I've seen of Trent Flowers, I don't think he's like a for sure NBA guy either. Like this isn't like a top 5 player in this class. This is just a good player who would have been good at Louisville. He would have been a fun player, but he thinks he's a one and done. He might not even be a one and done. Like, oh well, you lost Trent Flowers. You're still going to have the same issues you were going to have if you're Louisville. You have much larger issues than losing Trentyn Flowers, even though that's the poppy thing. You need to figure some stuff out. And also, I just want to say there's a lot of coaches in this country who are really horrible at roster building in this new era. And it's probably really hard. I get it. Like, you got to balance stuff that wasn't even on the table 2.5 years ago. But, like, good God, man, I'm a fan of one of them. There are some coaches that just keep getting duped by kids, and it puts their roster in the worst spot ever. And from what I've seen, Kenny Payne is like historically bad at college roster building. So he's got what, 1 year? Like, there needs to be signs of life a year from now. Otherwise, this is over, right?
Yeah, which is crazy to me that he's this bad at roster building. Like, I I don't know. I would, to me, on the outside looking in, like in the situations he's been around in his previous jobs, I feel like roster building would be a thing that would be a strong point.
Yeah, I don't know. Strange things. Is Kenny Payne fired next year? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too. Let's move on. I'm ambushing you with this topic because I know you don't like talking so much so frequently about this team, but we have to. Purdue's overseas trip has ended. They are 4-0. You can look at the numbers. The numbers are incredible. I'll talk about some of the numbers here and there, but I have a different question. And I think I'm the first person who's asked this question anywhere. I'm pretty excited about it.
I know what you're going to ask.
You don't. You think I'm going to ask, would Purdue be better without Zach Edey? I'm not going to ask that because Zach Edey's the best player in the country. I am going to ask you this. Where would this Purdue team be ranked heading into the season if Zach Edey did not exist? If this Purdue team had TKR, Caleb First, Miles Colvin, Hamden Hyde, Fletcher Lawyer, Braden Smith, all these dudes who looked awesome overseas, 4-0. They just didn't have Zach Edey, who was taking pictures holding a trophy with Shea Gilgeous-Alexander's arm around him. Where would this team be ranked?
I probably had them easily top 15, easily. I probably had them at just on the safe side, keep it moving. I think 11.
Yeah, without naming names, like this is a top 10-ish team, right? Without Zach Edey, they are a top 10-ish team in the country.
Yeah.
That's insane. Like I maybe that's a different way to frame should we take Purdue serious or not, but I think that's a really fascinating way to look at this, because I think people get swept up in like why I'm so excited about Purdue and why I keep leading the bandwagon and gassing them up is, oh, it's Zach Edey, he's the best player in the country. Why I'm so excited about Purdue and why I think it's different than last year's all the new guys, everything else that's new. And oh, by the way, they still have the best player in the country. So I really think was going through in my head. I think without Zach Edey, truly, I think this would be like the 7th or 8th best team in the country. I think they're that deep. I think they're that loaded. Like, they wouldn't match Kansas. They'd be behind Michigan State without Edey. But I think it'd be close, honestly. Like, they're in that next group for me of like Kentucky and UConn-ish of like all this young talent. Like, they are talented, man. TKR, whenever Zach Edey's not on this team, TKR is going to be an all Big Ten center immediately.
We got to pump the brakes a tiny bit
on TKR.
Just on this was a foreign tour, okay? Some of the teams that were played on this tour, like, don't get me wrong, yes, there's a reason to be excited, but let's just pump it just a tiny bit. Let's just take a step back.
You have eyes. Like, you watched some of these games. There's differences between the way Purdue looked on this tour, even with the competition stuff aside, than the way teams that are also playing overseas in this conference, like Iowa and Nebraska and Illinois, or outside of this conference, even like Arizona, USC, like this looks different. Like they're not just clanking shots. Like they're making shots, and TKR looks like a superstar.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like you're putting just a bit too much stock into what they're doing on this foreign tour. I agree it's exciting. I agree it's something that Purdue fans should hold in a high regard. But I don't know. I gotta see it in an actual game setting. I'm still on wait and see with this, this mode.
TKR averaged 18 points and 8 rebounds on this trip. Shot 37% from 3. Made a 3 in 3 of the 4 games.
TKR is going to be in foul trouble every single game he plays.
Braden Smith, 6-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. And I know you're about to just start laughing that I'm bringing up an assist to turnover ratio.
I'm not. No, that's special. That is.
If you
we saw Braden Smith do that for a whole half a season, then fall apart.
But like the way he is controlling the games on this trip is different than last year. And it's largely because Edey's not there. Now that does bring up some conversations like what is Purdue going to look like in the post Edey era versus when they're so focused on getting the best player in the country the ball. But like Braden Smith gets wherever he wants and creates a wide open look for someone every possession. That's all he just did for like 160 minutes of games. And he doesn't turn it over. Like, I'm just so wildly impressed by him. Colvin and Hyde combined for 11 for 15 from 3, Cart. Like, I don't care if the competition level stinks. Illinois just made 16 threes as a team in 3 games. And 2 true freshmen in a Purdue uniform for the first time ever off the bench are 11 for 15. And the question was, can they shoot? Like, I'm sorry. I know I'm leading the propaganda machine, but I think people should realize it's not just about Edey, and it's not like the same team. Like they were so Edey centric there. That's why they're going to have issues again. Nah, I think this team could be a Final Four team if Zach Edey didn't exist. They just so happen to also have Zach Edey this year. And that's how people should view them. And that's why you should probably consider like maybe elevating them into Kansas territory of this could be the number 1 team in the country.
See, that's where I'm not with you. They're not a Final Four team without Zach Edey.
I guess we'll never know. Because Zach Edey is incredible.
Wait and see.
Can I make an argument at least?
Yeah, of course. I heard your whole argument. It's great points, elite points.
Okay. All right, moving on. That might be the last time we talk about Purdue for a while. So deep breath for you.
Thank God, man.
We'll be all right. We'll be all right.
I'm serious. I'm sorry. I need a Purdue break.
We are going to talk about the Big Ten's best backcourts because our colleague, David Klein, guest of the show, friend of the show, came on this very program a couple weeks ago. Just put an article out on SpartanHoops.com. He made it free as of this morning so that anybody can go in and see it. And he basically made Big Ten guard tiers of players that he thinks are notable heading into the season. He did draw the cutoff line at a certain point, so he didn't just list everybody in the conference. But I want to run through his tiers quickly. Tier 1, all conference guys. Terrence Shannon was the first name mentioned. Tyson Walker was the second name mentioned. Tier 2, fringe all conference guys. I think that was the term. Do you have it up? What was the term?
I do. So the first tier was first team all Big Ten likelihood. And then cut off tier 2, all Big Ten caliber players.
Okay. So likelihood versus caliber is what's going to be debated here. But tier 2, I'd term it as fringe. I'm putting words in DK's mouth. To me, these are guys he views as like maybe they're all Big Ten, maybe they're not. Boo Buie is the first name mentioned. AJ Hoggard is the second name mentioned. Jameer Young is the third name mentioned. Braden Smith, 4th. Bruce Thornton, 5th. Third tier, like potential good seasons. Doug McDaniel, Connor Essegian, and then Deshaun Harris-Smith. So I'll throw it to you first, just broadly. Do you like this list? Do you have any major issues with this list?
I think that Boo Buie has done enough to earn himself in the first category on here. Like I understand that, they had the loss of Adige, which I think is glossed over a little bit too much. I think Adige did do some things to help take pressure off of Boo. But I mean, he was first team all Big Ten last year, and then he comes back. I feel like he's earned that spot to be in that first spot. I don't know. I think the main, and I wouldn't even use the word issue. For me, it's there's guys on here that are gonna be certified all Big Ten players. Tyson, Terrence Shannon Jr., Boo Buie, and Jameer Young are all, I would put millions of dollars that all those guys are on the all Big Ten team. Then I'll go to another tier of guys that could make a Big Ten team, but there's also a world where they don't make a Big Ten team. Like there's a world where AJ Hogarth doesn't make an all Big Ten team. He hasn't made one yet, for anyone who doesn't know that. Like that hasn't happened yet. Bruce Thornton, I think there's going to be a lot of guys on that team who can do some things. I don't know if Bruce Thornton is for sure going to be an all Big Ten guy. Braden Smith, also a guy who could have a really good season for a really good team, but who knows how his stats are going to line up and whether he can sneak his way into an all Big Ten team for sure. So I would just tier it differently, but I really don't have any like glaring issues, I guess, with the list or the tiers the way they are.
Okay. Yeah, I think I agree. I think we're pretty much on the same page here. Are you a little surprised Hepburn's not on the list? We're not, at least I'm not a big Hepburn guy, but
No, I'm not a big Hepburn guy either, so I'm not surprised that that he's not on the list. No.
okay. The more I was thinking through it, I'm just like, he's around. Like he could have been a name. Here's a couple small issues I have. First of all, you'll probably disagree with me on this. I don't think Terrence Shannon should have been on this list in any of these tiers. I get that Terrence Shannon can play guard and looks like a guard and probably is a guard sometimes. He's also like a power forward sometimes. He's also a wing most of the time. And when I go down this list, I see a bunch of actual like point guard types. Tyson Walker plays the two, but he's a point guard type. Like these are all guards. Terrence Shannon's probably going to be like the power forward on the all Big Ten first team this year. It's going to be Edey, 3-point guards, and Terrence Shannon. So I get like like just seeing his name first on the list of best Big Ten guard to me feels a little off because I think he's the best Big Ten wing, and I think he's a different positional guy than this. But I don't like that's not a huge gripe. Like I get where DK would have him here, and I think you've made the point that Shannon is a guard before. But again, I'm on paper, Illinois wants Ty Rodgers to be their point guard. Dre Gibbs Lawhorn's going to play. Like if Sincere Harris is on the court with Terrence Shannon, is Terrence Shannon the guard and Harris is the forward? I would just put him in a different positional group altogether. Outside of that, you nailed it with Buie and Young. I don't know how Buie and Young can be in the same tier as guys that need to break out versus guys that have already been the best player on an NCAA tournament team. Like that's Buie was the best player on a team that almost made the Sweet 16, almost beat UCLA. Jameer Young was the best player on a Maryland team that was really, really good for the whole season. So, like Hogarth is going to be a really good player on a really good team this year, and his body looks totally different. We've talked about how excited I am the strides AJ's made this offseason. He still needs to make those strides. He hasn't done it already, like Boo and Jameer Young have. Braden Smith and Bruce Thornton are younger. They're more traditional breakouts. They're not the 23-year-old guy that's going to break out like Hogarth is. But I would just have those three in a totally separate category. Like I think if you're going to put Shannon and Walker at the top, then you got to put Buie and Young right below them. If they're not in the same tier, it's got to be like tier 1, Shannon Walker, tier 2, Buie Young, tier 3, Smith, Thornton. And if you want to lump Hogarth in there, fine. Or I'd even be fine if Hogarth was like in his own category card. Cause I kind of view AJ as like, he's not really a breakout candidate. He's just like a guy that's already good enough that just needs to, I don't know,
get over the hump.
And not even get over the hump. Just like if Michigan State's a good team, it's probably enough, right? Like if Michigan State wins 30 games instead of 21 games, then like AJ, the guy he is there. But if not, like God forbid, if this goes off the rails, then AJ Hogarth's numbers as they've been aren't going to get it done. So I don't know. Right. I don't know. I think you're right though. Boo's got to be up.
Yeah. And then like, you got to look at it this way too with AJ Hogarth. Like, obviously this is just me with a theory on top of my head. Like you have to have something special, I feel like, to have 3 guys on an all Big Ten team. Like that's a pretty good situation. I can't think to last year 3 guys from the same team all made all Big Ten. They obviously probably did, but like last year it was Tyson and Joey. Those were like the 2 best players on the team. Joey's gone now. So there is a world where AJ Hogarth becomes that second guy for a really, really good basketball team in Michigan State, makes an all Big Ten team.
One name notably missing from this, Do you know the name I'm going to say?
Kisei?
Kisei is a great player who was in the honorable mention category. Not Kisei. He's on your team, the guy I'm about to mention.
Jaden Akins?
Where's Jaden Akins?
He's a wing.
Oh,
He's with Terrence Shannon. He's with Terrence Shannon.
Oh, NBA guard Jaden Akins is a wing. Okay, got it. I'm trying to understand why would Terrence Shannon be first on this list, but Jaden Akins wouldn't be? Like Jaden Akins is more a guard than Terrence Shannon is.
Because I mean you know the answer to this.
Or are we just saying Akins isn't like, is Akins on any list? Is Akins going to be on the wing list this year?
I would put Akins on all Big Ten before I put Hogarth.
Hogarth's going to have the numbers. I guess I'm just curious, when DK does his list, is Akins going to be on the forwards list? And if he is, then you had Shannon on the wrong list. If he's not, then okay, fine. We're just saying Akins isn't as good as Doug McDaniel or Connor Essegian. I don't think I agree with that, but and I don't think DK agrees with that. I think we know the truth is that he's going to be on the wing list. If Jaden Akins is on the wing list and Terrence Shannon isn't, aren't we just trying to put a Michigan State guy on the weaker list? Isn't that what's happening here? Like,
not on SpartanHoops.com.
No, great site. Big fan of DK's work. I'm trying to spot where the Michigan State guard is that everyone yelled at me in my mentions and said was a guard, but now he's a forward. So, okay. Final question, speed round here. Let's say end of the season. There's 2 guards on the first team, 2 guards on the second team, 2 guards on the third team. Who are they?
2 guards on the first team, Shannon and Walker.
We're calling Shannon a guard?
Yeah, I am. 2 guards on the second team. I'm going Jameer Young, Braden Smith. Third team, I'm going. Oh, sorry, my apologies. Excuse me. Boo Booey and Jameer Young, second team. Third team, I'm going Braden Smith. Oh, damn. Braden Smith, Hogarth.
Okay. I'm fine with that. I'll give my answer in a second, but we got to go back to the first team, man. If Shannon and Walker's the first team, who are the other 2 guys that aren't Zach Edey on that team?
Maybe you can bump one of the guards up. Let's put 4 guards, like you said.
The answer is that Shannon isn't a guard, man. Like it doesn't make any sense. First team guards to me are Tyson Walker and Boo Booey. Second team guards to me are Jameer Young and Braden Smith. Third team guards to me are Bruce Thornton and AJ Hogarth. Congratulations, Michigan State fans. You have 2 all Big Ten guards. Hopefully 3 if Jaden Akins breaks out this season. We'll see. Let's go to our one big thing presented by Bigby Cart. Bigby, I do have a Bigby coffee today. It's in my lovely Sleepers Yeti mug, as you can see. Great coffee. Fantastic coffee. The vibes are good. When you have a 12-minute late start, Bigby coffee can get you where you need to go. What's your one big thing today?
My one big thing for today is that the Sleepers created a Discord, and that link's going to be in the bio, and that everyone should join. I think it's going to be a great thing. One of the most enjoyable parts, I think, of our YouTube channel to me is that we've actually kind of created a community, like in the YouTube chat channel on social medias. And I feel like Discord is another place where we could actually have that community feel, and I'm excited about it. So one big thing is us making moves and listening to people.
How do you feel about the price point, by the way? Do you think there's people who are going to be like, why would I pay $9.99 a month for these 2 idiots? Do you think that's too expensive?
No, because I know there's people out there who pay like $25.99 a month for pictures of feet. So like, come on.
I did some competitive analysis, by the way. That's how we got to $10 a month. There's a lot of gambling discords that have people paying like $30 a month. So if it seems like a lot, I'm sorry, but we do put like probably 10 hours minimum a week into this on top of the jobs we work. Like this is every day, people. We're trying to bring this to you. So any support would be appreciated. My one big thing today presented by Bigby Cart. I have beef with everything bagels. I am flustered by the concept of an everything bagel. I think they're doing too much. I don't think they taste good. I think that there's a reason why there isn't an everything. Like imagine, I'm going to go get some pizza. I'll take the everything pizza today. That would
There
be,
is.
no, it's not called everything pizza because no one in their right
Is.
mind would want everything pizza. Nobody goes to a sandwich shop, a sub shop and says, I want the everything sandwich. That
Yes,
would
they
be
do.
disgusting. No one goes to an ice cream shop and says, let me get the everything ice cream. Just one scoop of it
Yes, they do.
all together with all the toppings. It's just gaudy. It's too much. We don't need that. That's not, I don't mean to health shame, but that can't be healthy. That's not good for you. That's
Okay.
excess. You're training yourself to be needy if you need an everything bagel. No, just give me the bagel. I don't need the everything.
Before we leave, what's your favorite bagel?
Plain bagel.
Oh my, you know what? Just okay. Good God.
This is the Sleepers Podcast. The link to the Discord is in our description. Please join the Discord. We would appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow, and hopefully I can breathe on
I'm gonna
tomorrow's
I'm gonna
episode.
create a bagel channel on the Discord now.
Goodbye.